be overstated. Today, with 5 talented young people here from several countries and continents, I would like, on behalf of the Arab Youth Green Voices, to welcoming you in our session. And I would like to make a special thanks for Jorian, the Dutch Youth Ambassador, for being here today. Firstly, let me introduce our heroes today. Jorian, no, okay, okay. So Omar from Mauritania, he's an environment activist. Omar, he have a project called Seed Balls, a nature-based solution in Mauritania. Dami, he's from Nigeria. He is COO and co-founder of the Youth Sustainable Development Network. They are empower more than 10,000 young people in Africa, and this is really a huge effort. And then our colleague and our member in the Arab Youth Green Voices, Ghunwa Kataya from Lebanon. She have a project about how to transfer the waste food to the biochar and other products. So nice to have you all here. The session will be about like another 2 guests will follow later. And then our guest, special guest, Jorian. Jorian, again, he's the Dutch Youth Ambassador. He's working in a trade and economy, development and EU affairs, currently working for youth education and employment, previously based in several countries in the world, and I think this will help you to support you. His experience is sustainable development, economic and trade policy, politics, security, and all the European affairs. So Jorian today will make some, let us say some advice, maybe some guidance for you, and maybe some comments about your projects. All of you have 5 minutes to talk about your project. So please feel free to talk everything about your project. And then when you finish all, Jorian will have some comments about that, and then we will go for our audience to start. So anyone would like to start? Yeah. So Omar?
Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah. My name is Omar Sisse. I'm from Mauritania. Oh, okay. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Omar Sisse. I'm from Mauritania. I'm actually the founder of Seed Balls. Seed Balls, actually, it's not a project. It's a participative project. So it's a project where we are actually working with local communities in Mauritania, especially in the rural, where we are actually reforesting the land by using nature-based solution by using seed balls. So seed balls actually started from first in Kenya, where they have been able to restore land, like they have been able also to plant maybe more than 34 million since 2016. And after that, we actually we are actually operating in Mauritania, where we are using aerial seeds, like seeds which is made of compost and soil, and indigenous seeds, like where we are using involving local communities, especially women in the rural area, where they are collecting seed for us, indigenous seeds, and non-timber product seeds, because most of women are actually focusing on non-timber product, because they are taking it, and after that they are adding value, and they sell maybe the oil or the other products. So Seed Balls is actually a participative project, as I said. Organization can actually buy those seeds, and they can plant trees, and also community leaders and even individuals. So imagine just like you are coming from point A, you are coming from point A to point B. So you just buy like maybe 10 of seed balls on your way. You can just throw the seeds. Like it should be indigenous seeds coming from Mauritania. So we've been able actually to operate since 2021. And it's actually a really wonderful project, because first Mauritania, the Minister of Environment, first what they were doing, they were just having a Nairal seed where they were just throwing the seed. But us, the add value seed we have is actually a seed which is just like a ball, mixed with compost and soil as a rock. So you just throw it. When the rain comes, it will start to grow. So it's so now we are working more on into the germination rate because we have a germination rate between 70 to 80%. So we are trying to actually work more so we can have like more germination rate because more indigenous seeds. Some of indigenous seed actually have problem of germination rate as soon as possible. So yeah, that's actually the project we are working on. And the most important part is actually we are actually including, as I said, local women, especially in the rural area, because most of them are actually we are helping them to improve their livelihood, and also they can be part of this green initiative. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Omar. I think it's sorry, thank you. I think it's amazing to hear about your story. For me, I have a lot of questions, but I will ask you later. So also the audience, I hope you prepare some question for Omar because maybe it's important to follow up. And now, Dami, or yeah, okay, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again for the opportunity to engage in this conversation. I think it is important that as youth, it is crucial that we are able to clearly build consciousness for action, because as much as we are able to engage at a global level and a global stage such as this, it is important that all of this materialize into something. And in this context, of course, we're looking at a sustainable and a resilient future, and generally a resilient global space. My name is Damilola Balogun, and I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the Youth Sustainable Development Network. And at the Youth Sustainable Development Network, we do three things essentially. One, advancing knowledge of youth on sustainable development. Two, policy recommendations with high-level stakeholders. Three, implementation of sustainable projects. So first, advancing knowledge and capacity of young people when it comes to sustainable development is at the heart of what we do. Because I am of the personal philosophy that once we know better, we are able to do better. And our ability to transform to a sustainable and a resilient world comes from our ability to understand and pinpoint key solutions to key pressing problems the world is facing. So on that basis, we have several workshops and summits in our organization where we set to execute by educating a lot of young people, young professionals across the globe and in the African continent when it comes to sustainable development. One of these is the Youth for Sustainable Energy Fellowship, where we have this platform to educate young people on clean and affordable energy specifically. So we run a 3-month curriculum on solar and green hydrogen. Because for us, I think it is important, speaking from the African perspective, that if we want to be able to achieve better, we have to be able to define our stake in the global scheme of things. And being able to define our stake in the global scheme of things ensures that we have to be able to come up with substantial knowledge of our continent and the current reality in the space of climate change and the global energy transition. Number two, we do policy recommendation. And this is something that we have done with the Netherlands Consulate in Lagos, Nigeria over time. So this year we did the Lagos State Climate Action Plan analysis with over 26 youth-led climate action organization in Nigeria, Lagos specifically. And with the help of the Netherlands Consulate, we were able to engage with not just the consulate themselves, but of course also the Lagos State government. And with this project, I can tell you that we are at the process of ensuring that sustainable development, such as climate change and energy transition, is incorporated into the curriculum of high school and primary school in Lagos. Thirdly, we do project implementation. So one thing for us is that we, as much as we want to be able to speak, as much as we want to be able to engage on global platforms such as this, again, all of this must add up to something at the grassroots. So in 2021, we executed a project in Lagos, Nigeria, which is known as the YSDN Solar Irrigation Project. And so with this project, what we did was that we reached out to some of our partners. We got $5,000 And then we were able to support farmers in our community, Lagos. So what we did was to substitute their fossil fuel powered irrigation, which was not only expensive but environmentally unfriendly. We substituted that with a solar powered irrigation. And the result of this is the fact that it has helped to increase their income by over 50%, their productivity by 70%, and even cut more than 215 tons of carbon emission in 2021. Right now, as I speak to you, we leveraged on that, and we have successfully recently gotten a 50,000 US dollars grant from Carbon Trust through the Transforming Energy Access UK Innovate. What we are doing right now next is to build a cooling solution. We're moving to the cooling solution. So we want to be able to prevent post-harvest loss, because according to research, over 80% of food that is produced in sub-Saharan Africa is produced by rural farmers. And so in order for them to get the return on investment on their farming, it is crucial that they have access to sustainable cooling solution. So we would be constructing a sustainable cooling solution, and the innovation behind that, in line with the circular economic principle, is that we are making use of generator scraps. So we are making use of generators that have come to their end of life. What we are doing is that we are making use of the casing of a diesel generator. So if you're familiar with a diesel generator, we are making use of the casing to build the cooling storage themselves. At the end of the day, this solution does not only align with Sustainable Development Goal 7, but of course also SDG 17 Partnership for the Goals, and more importantly, climate change and climate action. So these are the things that we do, and with all this being at the strategic focus of what we render, it's something that we are looking to expand as we progress in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dami. Roa? Please. So maybe, Jorian, you would like to comment on that? Then we can go for the other, like for our speaker, Roa and Renwa. Okay. Yes, please.
On both Umar and Damilola, then. Yes. Okay. Well, first, Umar, thank you so much for your presentation. And I can see the passion that you have for your product. I've often seen these kind of balls. I imagine them to be this size or something, even smaller. Okay, fantastic. And I know that it works really well, and it's a fantastic solution to plant crops or trees in a sustainable way. So you did not give that much detail on your project or program, so I have a few questions in particular. So the first question is, are you thinking of developing it into a business model? Or is it very much will it remain a project phase? Both are fine, but they require a different dynamics, obviously. So that would be my first question. And related to that is also, what kind of crops are you thinking? Or plants or trees? Cash crops, or is it just for greening? And the third thing, which I loved very much about your idea and initiative, is involving local women in the growing process, in the distribution of the seed balls. And then my question always is, that's fantastic, but what's in it for them? Will they earn money out of it? And can they make a small business out of it? And that would be amazing. Or are they very much part of the distribution chain? Yeah, just some questions.
All right, thank you so much for the question. Actually, it's true, I should be giving those details. So in terms, I will actually answer all of them at the same time. So the thing we are doing is, first we're involving local women by telling them to collect for us the seeds. Like we have actually 4 indigenous seeds, like balanite, zizufis, and the 2 of acacia, because we have acacia senegalensis and the other acacia. So we have those indigenous seeds, and we are actually telling them to collect for us the seeds, and from there we give them money. So that's actually that's the good part. So when they collect, maybe they can collect like 50 kg, and there is a amount in Mauritanian currency. that we give them. So we involve them like collecting the seeds because they are living in the local area, so they can collect the seed. And the business model also, that's always, it's a question always I really, people ask me about. It's now that the next step, because first we were actually kind of, in the beginning we signed an MOU with UNDP. So they want like to have, they want to create an initiative where like, just like Saudi Green Initiative, but it's Mauritanian Green Initiative. So what we want to do, as you see those package, so we want to actually try to include more individuals, like the population. So just like put it in different sacks, like socks, and after that where we will put 10 seeds, and we will bring them to the city, and like maybe someone just, and also we'll put the particular seeds. So when someone can just buy it, and when the person is actually traveling around the rural area or somewhere, so they can just on the way just throw the seeds, and just like maybe they can buy it at $1 or $5, so they can have the maybe 10 seeds there, where on their way they can throw, but they're kind of like reducing their carbon footprint at the same time, how to say it, participating in a green initiative. So that's what we actually, that's our plan for the maybe 2024, because we are part of currently in the Great Green Wall projects. So Great Green Wall Project is actually a project which start from Mauritania to Djibouti, like 11 countries, where we have to reforest. We have to include local communities in different stuff like bioshock, everything. But me, on my part, I'm just focusing on reforestation part. So actually that will be the business model, and it's actually a business model because we are partnering currently with organizations. So when they want like to reduce their carbon offset, so we just produce them the seeds, and they will be the one actually telling, okay, so we partner with Seed Ball and all those things. So yeah, that will be our next step. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, sorry, yes, well, we'll speak after. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, but for Damilola, I can be brief because we met in, well, we not personally, but I met your organization when I was in Lagos, of course, before summer. So I know Youth Sustainable Development Network quite well, and I'm impressed by the work that you're doing, and in particular by the scope of it, because it's not often that you find an organization that focuses on these three different tracks, because for me they're very different. Knowledge advancement amongst young people, capacity building probably also of young people, environmental and climate and sustainability awareness raising amongst young people. It's so necessary in Africa in particular, but actually all around the world. And then from that knowledge I can see the link to policy influencing. My question to you will be, how much access do you already get, and where do you notice that it becomes difficult to gain access to the policymakers in Nigeria? And then I always have a bit of trouble, personally, and that's also my limited capacity, in seeing how then the implementation of project also ties into that, because the first two pillars are very labor intensive and require very dedicated and specific skill set from your colleagues and yourself. And then project implementation, unless they're very much related to the first two pillars, is really a different ball game actually, but very often it is the money maker for many organizations. So maybe you can reflect a little bit on that latter, the relationship between the two, and I'm also very interested in learning from you how much access you get in Lagos or in Abuja in particular. How open are they for youth participation and the youth voice?
Thank you. We have 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the question. So I think to answer the second question about implementation, so what we do is that we leverage on partnership a lot. So with the project implementation, we have technical partners. So in this case, we have Kamim Technologies. So it's also a youth-led organization, and they are in charge of like the technical expertise of implementing the project, while we support with stakeholders engagement, impact assessment reports from my team. And in terms of access, for access, we do not really get access, but most times, and thankfully, this is where the Netherlands Consulate helps. So Netherlands Consulate helps to break this barrier with like getting access to key stakeholders, and that way it makes it a bit easier. But definitely we are not done, but we're still pushing to get more access. Thank you.
Thank you, Dami. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Jorian, for your notes. I think it's valuable for the audience. For now, I would like also to introduce Ru'al Al-Ubaid. She's a medical student from Sudan, environmental activist. And maybe for me, the most important thing is that she planted 3,000 trees in her village. So maybe later on you can talk about that. So for now, we will go for Ghunwa. So please, Ghunwa, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Ghanwa Qataya. I'm from Lebanon, and I'm a PhD student in environmental engineering. And my project is about reducing climate change impact by sustainable waste management. So how? So the idea started in 2015 when Lebanon went into a waste crisis and a trash crisis, which flooded the whole country with waste. And the main root was due to because we have 52% of all our waste are organic waste, and unfortunately, most of this waste end up in landfills without any prior treatment. Only 13% are treated by composting. So we thought about a new technology that can be introduced to Lebanon to treat this waste in more efficient and green way. And the idea started from there. We thought about pyrolysis, which is a technology that can convert the organic waste into 3 main products: bio-oil, biofuel, and biochar. So mainly bio-oil and biofuel can be used for generation of heat and electricity in a renewable way and green energy. And the biochar is a solid. I don't want to go into the technical description, but I would like to say it's like a powder of a charcoal. So you can imagine it. It's a powder of charcoal, black solid powder. Biochar can be applied to soil as a soil amendment. When applied to soil, it can reduce the need for chemical fertilizer. It can reduce the need for water because it increases the moisture of soil, and also it increases the quality of quantity and the quality of crops by removing contaminants from the soil. It has one more specific characteristic. So biochar is considered as one of the most important decarbonization tools because biochar, once applied to soil, it can remove CO2 from the atmosphere and store it in the soil as a carbon source for microbiological life in the soil. One more application of biochar is available to remove all pollutant, all kind of pollutant from water as if it was used as filter. So I don't want to get more into details because we don't have a lot of time, but I want to add one more note. Even if we get to the highest technology that the human can reach it, we have a responsibility to reduce organic waste. So it's our responsibility to act and reduce organic waste from that source. Thank you.
Thank you, Ghunwa. It's amazing to hear about your project. Just for the audience also, Ghunwa is one of the members of Arab Youth Green Voice, and she's one of the co-founder of the network. So she's even like, she's talent, and also she's co-founder of our network. So super thank you, Ghunwa, for everything. And now go for Ru'a, the final speaker for today. So please.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll tell you just a brief story. I know we have 3 minutes. How a medical student turned to trees planting at the school. So 4 years ago, I was doing data collector for a research at university. Our population was the primary school at the public primary school. For me, for someone like who study all my curriculum was in private school. I never thought that the public school will be at that worse. So first, when I went to the first school, I was shocked, but I think this is just this school, not the whole school. So when I went to till 20 school at Khartoum, even as the capital, not the other village or countryside, I was very shocked because the school environment, it's like a desert. And one thing that it like make me feel very sad. I remember one day it was 11 a.m. Sudan is one of the hottest countries in the world. It was 48 degrees that day. I saw two kids. They were 7 and 6 years old. They were sitting under the sun because at the school there is no shade to sit in, and they were just sitting and having their food. And that really hit in my heart. And from that day, I decided I want to make something for those kids. I know the government is not going to do something. I went and talked to the school administrators. They told us that the government is not going to give us the money to plant the trees or doing anything. So I went home and I think a lot for days. I really want to make something. So I came out with فسيلة from حديث الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا قامت الساعة وفي يد أحدكم فسيلة فليغرسها. It was a trees planting at school. Then I thought, if I go to school and plant trees, yeah, I have the capacity, but I didn't give the students the knowledge and then change the attitude. I can't change the practice. So I start from the first part by knowledge. I go into different schools, sitting with the administrator and ask why is trees planting and even the environment is not in the curriculum. They told us they have they have agriculture association at the school, but it's not active. So I went to like 20 schools. I sit with the administrator, and then we initiate agriculture association at different schools. Then regular, I'm a medical student. Each Saturday, I used to go a different school to have like a session to first work in the knowledge part. Then after capacitate those small students, then I told them that, okay, how to like fight climate change. I'm going to plant trees with you. And then we went to school. Each school will plant about 50 to 100 trees at 20 schools. And when we plant the trees, I invite the student to plant with me, and then I told them, okay, this trees is called Muhammad. Muhammad is your responsibility to take care about these trees, and this is Fatima. And then usually I go annually after years to each school to revisit and see which trees is the higher, and then I give I give for the like that trees honor. So I used to work for 2 years. We reached 20 schools, planting more than 3,000 trees, and teach more than 7,000 students at Khartoum. So what happened now, because it's a situation in Sudan, the conflict started, and it's in Khartoum, so I couldn't work now in my initiative and my organization there. So what I have done, I moved to different state. Now we are working in 5 states, in Port Sudan, Atbara, Medani. I try, okay, the situation in Khartoum is not safe, but we can move to other states. I know there is a need everywhere to climate education, to change the attitude first, and then let us practice. After that, I thought, okay, I found the problem is through the curriculum. So we need to work with the curriculum, with the higher education ministry. So I came out with, like yesterday I was talking with our ministry here in the negotiation. I told him that we need some youth representation at the negotiation. Yeah, I'm going so far from school to the negotiation room, because I found it's not just working at the school isn't powerful. We have to work at level of the Ministry of Education to implement like agriculture, environment, climate education at the curriculum. So I sit with them yesterday and we had like 3 hours meeting. We came out like they are going to support the initiative, and they are going to support 10 youth to be part of the delegation of Sudan, those who are working at the school to come to the negotiation room, then go into the Minister of Education, to tell them we need like you as a government to work on this. It's not just as a youth, we want all of us to work together on this. Yeah, it's
Thank you. For me, it's really an inspiring story to hear that, and I believe if every young people in our Arab world and also for all the world doing what you did till now, I think our world will be better. So thank you so much for your story. It's really inspiring again. So now going for Jorian. Sorry, it's like 5 minutes. So Let's do it quick.
I'll do very brief. But I also want to have the floor afterwards. Well, no, I'll say it immediately because you guys inspire me. You guys, all four of you, demonstrate why exactly we need youth to be at the forefront of the climate. Well, no, you are already at the forefront of the climate fight, and this is why we need to listen to you guys. You inspire. You're working on the ground with very concrete, creative solutions to problems that you encounter in your daily life or in your society, and you try to do something about it, not hindered by traditions, beliefs, or just being old. And we need that energy so much, but we also need, and that brings me to your story, we also need to make the link from those local initiatives on the ground to the negotiating table here. And actually everything in between. But, well, I have not seen a more concrete link between the work that you're doing, planting trees actually, and bringing 10 young people to the COP negotiation table for the Sudan delegation next year. So compliments on that. I was actually contemplating a little bit what is more relevant for the climate, the 3,000 trees that were planted or the 10 young pupils from Sudan that will be here next year. But the answer is both are equally important. So congratulations so much on your work, both of you. And yeah, we already had a brief talk. Your engagement is also extremely relevant and important, perhaps at a different scale, at least potentially, but very much part of the whole chain that we need to improve to reach a circular economy. And yeah, I know your idea was developed under the Veritech program in Beirut. I visited them, and I immediately had to think about Veritech when you were making your pitch, because this is exactly what they love, creating circular economy solutions, always brought forward by young people. So my real question was, and I'm not a technical person, so I stay away from the technicalities. I fully trust you that you have done all the research. But can you elaborate a little bit? How feasible is the program, the product? How market ready is it, or market mature is it? And for you, I have the question: where next? You've planted 3,000 trees. You are hopefully going to send, or you helped sending young Sudanese people to next year's COP. Where's your next challenge? Do you know already? Challenge, your next dream.
You have 1 minute, please.
Okay, so I will start with the feasibility. So for the feasibility, this project is already implemented in Germany. Germany is a leading country in this pyrolysis chain. But this project is only feasible in a larger scale. So what we are working now with is a lab scale, small scale, prototyping, and the product is ready to scale up. So it's yes, feasible. And it will help a lot in producing energy. I already mentioned it's not only one product by Char, but also we have energy. So it will help a lot in Lebanon. Yeah, very expensive and non-existing as well. Yeah, so it will help a lot for farmers. Like if a farmer have a small pyrolysis plant, it will get his own soil amendment and his own energy as well. And for the market, you were asking about the market. So we were like doing some research market. In the world, the biochar market is increasing and becoming more demand and like trendy. In Lebanon as well, we had the chance and the opportunity to be the first to introduce biochar to Lebanese farmer, and they were amazed by it. So we have a page on Instagram and Facebook to introduce biochar and how it's what's its advantage and benefit for farming. And we were contacted by not only Lebanese farmers but farmers from all the other world asking for the product to try. But unfortunately, because we didn't scale up, we don't have a product to give to them. So hopefully in the next few months of years. Thank you.
Okay, for you, for the next step. Okay, for now, like this March, we started working in different states in Sudan. Also in June, I was in Kenya for African Young African Leadership Initiative program. So there I met about like 14 leaders from different African countries. When I sit and listen to them, I found that in all these African countries, we have the same issue, climate knowledge and trees planting. So what I have done, we initiate together an umbrella that connect all the climate activists. Okay, we are African, we have the same problem. Why is everyone working alone? And all of us, we need trees planting, we need climate education. So we make an organization, we just launched it 3 months ago. It's called Africa Climate Activists. It's an umbrella that connects different climate organizations. First, my organization in Sudan, then about 20 organizations in different African countries. We have the common vision, climate education at the school, trees planting. And now in December, we just launched our training program. We done in November. Now in December, we are starting the trees planting. I got a proposal from 6 countries, Somalia, South Sudan, Sudan, Djibouti, Tanzania, Kenya. We will start, they promise this December, they will send me the final report about 200 trees at different countries will be planted at different schools at this country. And this is just the beginning. We are planning, now we have 14 African country members from the organization. So we will start launching more trees planting, more climate education training at different countries, and also working in my country for sure.
Thank you. Indeed. Thank you for all of you. I would like to ask the audience if someone have any question. Okay, so we can get until like maybe 3 questions, but just keep yourself there.
Okay, I need to ask a question to Ru'a. First, I want to say that I'm impressed. I've been planting trees my whole life, but I wasn't impressed by a story like yours. So I think that children spend more time like playing on the grounds more than like at school. So don't you think like the next step you should like plant parks and all that stuff so they can like play and have fun like the other time, because they're in classes the most of the time, but at the school. I don't know.
So you say plant trees at park or taking a student to park? Not just a school. Okay, so here an answer for this why I choose a school. So for trees planting, you have first to give protection, water, and someone to care. So for me, the situation in Sudan, there is so many animals everywhere, unfortunately. The second thing, there is no water access for everywhere. I was thinking to plant plant trees at road, but I found there is no water. There is no one to care. If you are bringing someone there to take care of about trees, you have to pay them. We are a volunteer organization. We have no enough money. So we found a school first. We have a protection. Then the students are caring the trees. And at the same time, we encourage them to adopt trees. And we plant inside them the trees love and the climate.
I really love involving children.
Hi, Ro. I really liked your project as well. I do have another question. I'm not. Most Arab countries, I think Sudan included, has water scarcity, right? So what I'm asking is, water must be expensive. So when you're planting these trees in these areas, in these schools, who is paying for the water? Are the trees specifically don't need much water? Are they native? What exactly is the process?
Okay, for this question, most of the school they have enough water, but we found some school, this was a real issue. Some school they have lack access for water. So what we have done, we want to those who donate for awqaf, for some people who die and they donate for awqaf, and we encourage them. Okay, you want to make waqf, come to school, and so they bring water to school at the same time for the student and then for the trees.
This question might be a bit too much, and I would love to have the conversation later. It's for everyone. It's lovely to see youth talking about these topics and discussing entrepreneurial projects, but the issue of funding is very important, and I think it is important for everybody. I'm trying to run an initiative in Jordan, and I understand how difficult it is. So I would love to hear from you guys about where is the funding coming from? How are you guys living? Are you guys okay?
Yes, so that's a good question, very important. And it is important that you're able to think long term when you're working on any project. And so with this, in terms of funding, you have to be very strategic. You have to be able to collaborate. I mean, you write a lot of grants, you can write 100 and you just get, you can write 100 and get 0. So yeah, you can write 200 and just get 1, but being very strategic helps. So you have to think out of the box. You have to be able to partner with organizations that would help you to create and exchange value. And that way, I think it's a good way. So partnership and thinking out of the box is something that I have leveraged on.
I will just add something. Like, it's crazy. Like, seedball, I've started in Kenya 2016, but I've drafted the project for the context in Mauritania since 2020. I got funding after 1 year. It's crazy. Like, I really struggle. But I have my own stuff. But like, I'm under GGW, which is the Great Green Wall. So the one actually supporting us, because actually 11 countries in Africa, and the other one supporting us. And yeah. So, but I'm not getting paid for that one. But I have my own stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
This is exactly why the Netherlands is investing in youth projects, because all of these entrepreneurs or programs have shown that youth-led programs with very little investment can really make change happen and can really make much impact. Much more than if you invest in larger programs and projects. So congratulations to all of you. And also, I know many of you in the audience also have their own programs, projects. Please continue developing, and know that in the Netherlands you have a partner who likes to invest, both in terms of money as well as in terms of in-kind contributions to these dreams that you're trying to realize as young people.
Yes, thank you, Yorian. Okay.
Okay, my story will be different. I started working with local partner just recently. When I started my initiative like 2 years ago, I was alone at that time. So what I have done, I use my creative thinking. I say, okay, the trees is expensive at market, but why to buy trees? I have already in my home, I plant so many trees at our house. So, okay, let's get the benefit from these trees. I can, from my own trees, I can bud in new trees. I go and study how to, what is called, taqil. In Arabic, it's taqil. I don't know how to say English. It's like plant another tree. Germinating. Okay, I'm bad with this. So the first 200 trees, I got it from our own trees at home. I go and save the trees, and after that, when I go to school and I post in social media, some local organization approach me and they fund me. So at the beginning, I use creative thinking. This is what I am going to say to youth here. If you are planning to have any project, try to think out of the box, not just go into the normal road, like go into funder, no, try to think how we can do, like there is always plan B, plan C. You can find a way.
Thank you. Thank you all, and maybe to add just one word for the fund. Don't make it a priority in the beginning. Just show yourself. If you really can show yourself for the others, I'm pretty sure that you will get the fund. The people will start, or the founder will start looking or searching about you really to fund your. So thank you all. And I believe all as a youth, really, we can do something for our plant, for sustainable future, and a better future for all of us and for the next generation. Thank you all, and looking forward to meet you later. Thank you.